right. So, starting out episode 47, and we're going to be talking about the mental challenges when it comes to trading and new market conditions. Mm-hmm. So, this is where we're going to really exploit traders that have been doing well and think they're good traders, and we're going to be talking about traders that could adapt to change and really enhance their trading. So yeah, let's start it up, guys.
I like it. I mean, I think this is a perfect time to talk about it. If anybody's been a trader before,
we could start with Michael. You know, like you really haven't traded when we having a whole new election being a part. You know,
I think that's new for both of the islands.
Yeah, and then it's new for you because you just came in at the start of the pandemic. So
right.
You came in at the right time.
Well, it will be, I think, more interesting from your perspective because not only the plandemic, but also the holiday season. You've never really traded a holiday season before.
No, I heard it's pretty spicy though.
Well, I mean,
it
can be. So for my market conditions that I found kind of weird, specifically talking about, let's say Monday, looking at the fundamental side, we had PMI news, major PMI news for the U.S. dollar, and it was negative, and the U.S. dollar went up. No, sorry, it was coming down. Yeah. But then the U.S. 30 was also coming down.
Yeah, they were going together, which is real weird.
Right, and that's what I said a few weeks ago. I said that's going to be something that I'm going to worry for is when they're moving the same way. Mm-hmm. So was this, to me, it's like, was this a little bit of a taste of, well, here, I'm showing you, here's a flash. And then they worked opposite after that. Yeah. But to have negative news for the U.S. dollar and the U.S. 30 still coming down, that makes no sense to me. Mm-hmm. It should have. In fact, it ended on a bull run on Friday, and it closed out bullish, and it didn't gap up, which was weird. Mm-hmm. It normally gaps up. Yeah. It gapped down. Mm-hmm. So it's like, really, what the hell's going on? The only thing that I can contribute to that, COVID. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, it definitely has been a roller coaster of a ride, especially because I've traded when Obama was getting elected, and man, definitely capitalized off it, you know, just on the momentum of the market going. But, you know, now trading with this past election as has occurred, you know, having a lot of distractions within the overall viewpoint of the market. You know, so it became very emotional, affecting with, you know, kind of like dabbling with the housing market as well. And then the whole pandemic. So it just been a lot of like obstacles that has, you know, transpired in the market. So for people that have been trading for a long time, this is where if you are a swing trader, you have to adapt to be like, okay, I can't go to how I was originally trading. So you have to switch up. You have to reprogram your mindset, except for what the market is going to be doing instead of just looking for a reaction to just dive in and going without a plan. Mm-hmm. Because like, yeah, you could have price action, you could have, and only focusing on that, but no, like that's not going to be the case, especially during this market condition. Like you're going to have to know your fundamentals. You need to know what the hell elite officials are going to be talking about, you know, regarding to like the mortgage, the housing, the PMI, you know. So like all of those information are very crucial. You can't just go in the chart and then just expect that price is going to come to here and then you're going to execute. You need more confirmations. Yeah. You know, and the fundamentals has been driving the market all year long. So there has been moves that people did not see coming. Market opening up, you see gold dropping down 400 pips straight on a fat candle. Like, if you are on alert, on paying attention to the news, you'll be aware. You catch those moves, and you'll be done. You don't need to be trading every single day. Mm-hmm. So that's how you adapt to those changes, by now focusing on more of the fundamental side, because yeah, technicals are going to be there, but the fundamentals has been driving force. So, and then for the people that have been really like struggling when it comes to trading, you know, and you're not focused on fundamentals, then look, you're a retail trader. and you have to accept that. You can't just focus on price and just price itself.
Yeah, and I kind of when it comes to the holidays, I've had to take a step back over the past few days. Like the past 2 weeks, there are a couple trades I've taken, a couple trades I haven't taken, and I've really, really questioned myself, and that's what I find happening during the holidays.
Yeah, it becomes a battle. You're fighting against yourself. You're like, I know what I'm doing, and then it does the complete opposite on the chart, and then it questions your mental state. That if you are willing to be ready to continue to hop on the charts or enter a trade, it's like, you start versing yourself, then you versing the charts.
Yep, and that shit can get frustrating as hell.
Yep.
So that's why I stress a lot during the holidays is if people don't necessarily, if they're successful throughout the whole year, you don't necessarily have to trade through the last couple months of the year. You really don't. But if you decide to because of the volatility, just make sure that you're ready to, re-update your charts every single day. Have a clearer mind with it. Don't allow yourself to be that worst enemy that you can be. Because that shit can happen a lot quicker than it can. Let's say March, April, May, June, right? When the market is just kind of steady here and there. All of a sudden, it's like it's setting up for the holidays, and that's because we have a lot of money that flows through the economy during this time.
Yeah,
what was it they spent? And when I say they, I mean the general public, which just it blew my fucking mind. These numbers.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving Day online shopping was almost $6 billion.
Yeah, it actually set new records.
So wild.
Cyber Monday.
I
was
traded
close
on
to 12.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I spent no money.
I made money.
I made. No, I'm not. Doesn't matter what I made. I made good money on Thanksgiving because I was up in the morning waiting for my family members to get up. I was up early, just like my habit, and I traded Ripple. I blasted Ripple. I traded Ripple. I was like, okay, this is the best Thanksgiving ever.
We're dealing with the biggest transfer of wealth, right? So, like, if everything is becoming so digital and Black Friday, cool. Like, we're kind of still restrictive going into malls and wearing masks. It's not the same experience that we typically have the wild, Black Fridays.
And maybe not for some people. I went through Chandler Mall with no mask, and I was literally the only person.
That boy.
But that shit was hilarious.
But but Cyber Monday was definitely where it was at. I feel like Black Friday really just didn't make an impact to me, just from what I was witnessing. But I know for a fact that Cyber Monday, everyone,
buying stuff.
You got people that are lazy, people that just want their, the Amazon Prime to hit. The orders, every little thing, especially when things that you do not need to buy, you're buying because of the discount. But realistically, if you look at it calculatedly, the whole entire year could be your Cyber Monday, just going about how you're spending your money, So to me, I spent a lot of money this year, more than I did last year because every damn day was my Black Friday, right. So it's just how you go about spending money. But the true money where people should have been truly investing in is Bitcoin, Ripple, all of the coins of cryptocurrency. I know once the market was up, we gave out those pairs. We were riding it up. TPs were getting hit. It was a nice start of the week. So that is where the true investment should have been. Yep. Not shopping, not buying things that you don't need. Investing in yourself.
No, I agree. I agree completely. And to get into a topic that I think that really needs to be understood is it kind of piggybacks off of that.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it earlier in the sense of respecting money.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into that, though, what I want your perspective on the holidays so far. Being that this is your first one through the pandemic and now the holidays, what's your perspective on literally trading right now?
I see a few things. And if you guys don't know, this is my first year of trading. So like Michael said, I've never traded the holidays before, but it's going to line up with what I actually taught tonight, coincidentally on my class, which is I do see mental challenges trading to the holidays. I see a lot of opportunity. I see volatility. And the things that I'm seeing so far is different correlations happening that I didn't see during the rest of the year. if we want to get deep into Forex, I'm seeing gold and silver moving on their own, having a mind of their own. They're not moving lately right now with the DXY like I used to when I learned to trade from Michael. News, DXY, gold, they're not really correlating. Some of the pairs aren't correlating like they used to. So I'm focusing a lot on structure. I'm still focusing on news, but I'm really having to sit down and have a trading plan because I see a lot of mental challenges with not just analyzing the charts, but analyzing the, we're going to take losses because it's so volatile. And
that happens. Like you got to learn to accept that. Then, because you're not the only. You got to remember, you're not the only one that's losing in the market. Like it's a big industry for a reason. It's so much money that even if you made $1 trillion, you're still not making a dent to it. Everyone is either winning or taking a loss, and you just gotta accept that. Like,
I think
you might have to fund your account several times, but at least you're still not giving up. You're still participating in it. You're still learning from your losses. So it's a journey.
It's definitely a journey.
The more you accept that, the more then you're going to be like, yeah, this is, you take the emotion out every single time. When you take L's after L's after L's, and then you start questioning yourself, I know we were talking about this last night, and you start to reflect, and you're like, damn, you're just only building more awareness to be like, you know what, I'm going to start to able to risk now because I went through it. There's nothing that can break me down now. Take a loss? Cool, I take a loss. Now how am I going to game plan to recover from that?
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I see too is fighting the emotional habits that we've been pre-programmed to accept our entire life during the holidays, which is chill, take time off, relax. But if you do that, you're going to get off of your game. So the thing that I spoke about on my class earlier is we talked about how do you want to be a six-figure trader. And I'll tell you what right now, it's not taking time off and relaxing during the holidays. It's getting more organized and more dialed in. It means fighting the mental challenges of trading in new market conditions. So I need to sit down. For me, my perspective is if I'm going to trade through the holidays, I need to have a trading plan, and I need to look for new correlations. I need to have a set trading space that I go sit down at to trade. I need to have an organized time that I trade, a place to trade, and I need to be looking for new correlations. And I need to be working probably 3 times as hard as I did during the rest of the 11 months, because now is supposed to be the most volatile time, and things are getting weird with crypto and the DXY. Yet mentally, we're all programmed as people to think it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving. Let's be honest. Once Thanksgiving hits, everybody just starts being in chill mode. Whether you work a 9 to 5, you're an entrepreneur, most people are like, I'm going to go on vacations. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't have fun with your family and your kids and take time off, but I'm going to give you my personal perspective. I'm going to push 3 times as hard right now to make sure I do stay dialed in and I do stay in touch with what's going on. That's my biggest thing, is the mental challenge for me is fighting what society tells me I'm supposed to do, which is, hey dude, it's December, it's Christmas, go to Christmas parties, eat food, drink, be merry. I'm going to do that too. But if I'm going to be a trader, I'm going to have to make some sacrifices straight up. And I'm going to have to trade 3 times as hard. And that means I'm going to have to look at fundamentals like Ken was talking about earlier. I cannot just sit there and look at price action on the charts and market structure. I'm going to get rocked. I'm going to get spanked during the holidays. That's to answer your question. That's what I see.
So I agree with you 150%. That as a goal of a 6-figure, 7-figure trader, you don't want to, hit the brakes. You want to hit the gas, actually, right? But just to pose a basic question to you, do you think and this is in lieu of what I want to talk about here, the respect for finances, do you think that traders out here are ready to make 6 figures though?
No. Nope.
No, because it's a different headspace towards your mindset, right? 2, you probably have never been there before. You haven't manifested that you have made 6 figures before. If you don't have a familiar viewpoint or position, then how are you gonna try to lead and tell people? Or that you actually achieved it?
Well,
right?
I think Ken talked about this before on, I don't know if it was a podcast, but to answer your question, and this, I'm not going to get too detailed with my personal life, but I did become a 6-figure trader quickly, and I've handled it with grace because I already have a 6-figure income, and I know how to treat it as a professional. And a lot of these traders out there, no, they are not ready to be a 6-figure trader because
this is my point exactly.
They don't want to put in the time it takes. They don't want to put together an LLC. They don't want to have a trading plan. And maybe you do have some big months. You don't know how to handle that money, period. You don't know how to handle it emotionally.
Yeah, because with big money becomes big responsibilities, and how you go about it, how you start spending it, because you can make all the money you want, but just know the true value in how you could go about it and cheating the system is actually reinvesting that money.
Right.
Don't treat yourself after you hit that, because that's not what I did.
Right.
Like I started investing in, land that's in Africa. Like I wasn't going to go treat myself after.
So you're getting ahead of where I want to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like it. I like where we're headed because this is a really good topic.
The reason why I want to bring this up and why I want to talk about this is because, and shout out to Phelan. Phelan brought up the question on Instagram yesterday. And it kind of led into a different type of a discussion. So I don't want to necessarily talk about his question, which was, do you talk about finances on the first date? But in the conversation that he and I had, because he was like, I voted yes, I voted no, right? So we had different opinions. And he wanted to know my side of it. And I was like, well, I don't feel that necessarily that money needs to be talked about on the first date because I should be getting to know you. You should be getting to know me, and we shouldn't have anything that's judged based upon finances. And to me, I see more negatives than I do positives in that conversation because it can go to the point to where the other person thinks, okay, if all you want to talk about is finances, well, then you could be an arrogant person, because you may have a lot,
can be perceived very negatively.
Right, exactly. Or if, let's say, you're happy with your life and you're happy with not making 6 figures and you're comfortable with the way that you live, making, bare minimum, and you can survive because money doesn't do anything for you, then that person can look at you as being broke and you could miss out on a great opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So what I mean in regards to all this is the respect for finances. There's a thin line of when it needs to be discussed, but also when you respect it to a point of allowing it to work for you rather than be the person that's on Instagram flashing. Yeah. It's funny. I'm driving down the street. I picked Venus up from work the other day, and this guy is on a bicycle in the bike lane coming towards us in the bike lane, and he's no hands, and he's fanning money. And I'm laughing. And I was like, I looked at her and I was like, what the fuck was that? Yeah. Like, for one, you're on a bicycle. What are you flashing $5 bills at me for? Yeah. But to me, that's like a no respect, right? And you have that type of position where individuals do this, especially on social media. And next thing you know, they're broke. Either whatever they had on was rented and they don't have the money.
It's not like they're broke. They go very silent.
They go quiet.
Originally, what they're posting and stuff like that, and then there's no transparency,
right?
So like you can't just be like, oh, like you're living that life, and you're in a way you're not really respecting why you even participated in the first place, right? So like a lot of people get lost, and just like I know someone said in this live, it's complicated growth.
Yeah.
So it becomes more of a roller coaster ride.
That's a great way of calling it complicated growth.
Yeah. So where it should be just proceeding and going up and up and up and learning and just enjoying, but not like to the fact that you start losing values and morals and start disrespecting people and start doing the things that, it's not going to be, for anyone that's going to take away from, So are you leaving value? By doing those things?
And this discussion literally explains the one phrase that people post fairly often, and it's rich people stay rich by living broke. Broke people stay broke by trying to live rich. Yeah. Right? That's what we're sitting here talking about in a way. So if anybody ever really thought about, well, okay, I understand that, but do you understand the depth of where it goes? Yeah. Because rich people stay rich by letting their money work for them, and because they respect finance. They respect money.
Mm-hmm.
They may go and blow, a couple $1,000s here and there, but that's because they can. They've already put in the work.
They're acquiring
to
assets.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
They're making money on top of money to where that can happen.
Yeah, and they're also manifesting things like Ken has done, like you've done, like I've done. Like we actually speak things into existence. There's a difference between a wealthy mindset and a broke mindset. A wealthy mindset looks at a task and looks at something, and this is what I've done, and said, I can do that. I can go get it. I can actually make it happen. Versus, and I'm speaking from a true, honest perspective, or my old mindset was like, no, man, I could never have that. Ken and I had this conversation out, and I'll just say, it was regarding a car, supercar, and I'll be straightforward with people. I have assets. I have been relatively smart with my money, and I've always been a guy. I talked about Gordon with this the other day. I've always been a guy who's pretty conservative. Like, I've always had this thought in the back of my mind, like, oh, no, you should never do that. You don't want to buy that. It's too flashy or whatever. But that's also kind of a broke person's mindset too. Like putting limiting beliefs on yourself as well. Yeah. So it's A, buying things to look cool, or B, it's being like, nah, I could never get there. There's no way Ken would have bought his Bentley or built his company with saying, nah, man, I could never do it. It's just too cool. Or I don't want to be shown as flashy or materialistic. It's like, no, I've kind of learned to shift my mindset to be like, okay, if I actually want to get that, whether it be I want to buy an investment property, or I want to buy like an Amazon store, I go do it.
It's just the proper way of going about it. Like, because like I see it all the time when people are like on social media, they put like a whole question poll. They're like, you think I should cop or I shouldn't? I'm
like, just do it if you want to do it for yourself.
If you work hard, and you shouldn't be asking the world if you should be getting something that if you feel like you deserve. Like when I went and got my Bentley, like I went there, I was online, saw what I liked, went there. I was like, oh, perfect. I like this one. Coming back, cashier's check. Bought.
Yeah, I remember you told me and Michael didn't even know. Remember, you were like, "What?" And I was like, "What?"
No one knew. Like, I'm not asking the world. I'm like, "Oh, should I do this? Should I do that?" I'm like, "No," because I know I worked hard for it. But like, could I have gotten it previous years ago? Yes, but that wasn't my focus. I didn't feel like I achieved that to get that. So if you're trying to get something, just get it. Like, you don't need to like entice your followers or your social media presence that, oh, I am the man, because like, people are going to speak good things about you or bad things, so if you want people to truly respect you, just do the right thing. If you're going to make that purchase, make it and own up to it and be like, yep, that's it. I didn't ask anyone. I wasn't looking for any approval from anyone. I made it happen. So
makes sense to me.
It's just unfortunate in these days, especially now, like with the times that we're in, and it concerns me a lot, because why I mentioned those numbers for Black Friday and Cyber Monday is the fact that
you gotta look at this year alone. Finances, from what I've seen, from just the third person point of view, like has gone like off
the respect is gone.
Yeah, it's like spending money just because to spend money, and like the mental aspect, especially during all these tough times, it's just like, damn,
dude,
our government made it cool to be unemployed.
Yeah. It was like,
let's put it that way,
like cool, like for you to get a stimulus check. And I've seen, and I'm not even gonna go into any racial like tensions, but like, especially with my race, I've seen a lot of people in a lot of designer stores. Like, for a fact is that you're impressing a lot of people that are just like, oh, the clubs are not open. Like, you're buying it. So, oh, this is never going to happen again. Like, that's how they're treating it. But like, if anything, you should be like searching how you could get passive income. That's the most, that's where the money is at.
Right.
And it just goes back into not being knowledgeable.
Major facts. Major facts.
And finances this year has just been, you have a lot of people that have came up and, they did the right things at the right time.
And here's the irony of this. We have the possible stimulus package that's going to come out, right? It's supposed to be like $980 billion. 288 is supposed to go to small businesses.
Yep.
There's supposed to be X amount that's going to go to unemployment. But then you also have X amount of billions that's going to go towards SBA and PPP loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
This just baffles me because of the fact that the most scammed thing this year were those loans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
And they're
buying
going to
Lambos.
fucking do it again.
It's so crazy they're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, how is
And
that
all
possible?
the big businesses are winning. They're the biggest winners in this whole pandemic.
But
Biggest winners.
Not just that, by being able to do that and bringing money back into another situation where I'm saying there's motherfuckers out here that are just drooling right now at the stimulus package because they're like, okay,
Yeah.
these SBA loans, these PPP loans,
Like,
all right,
it's
let's
back.
go. That's
Let's
how
get
I'm
it
going to go
again.
ahead and get my quick little bag, right?
Yeah.
That's still not respecting the money.
Not
You
at
know
all.
what I'm saying?
No.
And in that case, if that's what you're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
then, I mean, by all means, I'm not going to knock somebody's hustle.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear about it when, you know what I'm saying, everything gets better, or if something, if there's consequences afterwards, or if someone gets caught up and something happens. Like, at that point, I'm like, you're bad. You're bad. I don't care, right? To me, that's the dumbest thing that they could have done. They could have put more money into the unemployment or into small businesses. Take the money and put it into the small businesses. But the thing is that's
but their overall plan is to take and
that's what I
wipe
was
out
just gonna,
small businesses.
Exactly. That's that's counterintuitive
Like,
because
for how many
they
small
want them to fail.
businesses that that couldn't even afford to to keep their businesses running, like that's the whole point, is to eliminate all that.
Yeah, it's like here.
crazy.
It's kind of like shout out Gavin Newsom in California. He goes out and he posts on Twitter on Saturday. It's Small Business Saturday. Go out and make sure that you support your small businesses today and spend your money with small businesses.
Yep.
But yet, dude, you shut down the whole fucking area. Small businesses can't survive.
Yeah. And,
Here's some money for some loans,
Yeah.
and here's some money for some small businesses, but we still want you to fail as a country now.
Yep.
Great.
And that goes to Blue Capital. It's a small business. So if you guys are interested in
Support
our
it.
5-day course coming
Shout
up
it out.
in February to actually enhance and acquire a skill set, Blue Capital is where it's at. So you guys are spending a lot of money on other businesses that are very, especially Amazon. I'm like again, killing it this whole year. They didn't have to do anything. They had to do no marketing, nothing. And people are just buying stuff that is not going to put money back in their pockets, So, if you guys are looking for something that it's very affordable, you guys have $150 to obtain a skill set.
And you'll learn a true way of trading. You learn just like I did.
It's a skill set that.
Oh no, you mean the
that will actually
you mean the 1,500 for the 5-day?
Yeah, 1,500.
The 5 days where it's at.
When you hop on,
somebody gonna get a super deal.
I know, right? Yeah. They're like, damn, coupon code. But, treating finances and adapting to mental challenges in a market. I've seen people that have made $1 million in the market. I've seen people made $1 million withdrawals. Weak turnarounds, but those are for the people that have they know and became patient and adapted to the market and just capitalize. That is what the skill set could reward you. But if you're not respecting the skill set, then you're just going to be like everyone else that is going to be like, why?
So and I pose this question because this is where I think people don't necessarily understand. This week, Jerome Powell testified. He had his speech, right? And one of the topics was inflation. So if you understand the way that this works, the dollar is going what direction right now?
Down.
And we've got it hitting possibly, what was it, 7? I have it going down to 78.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So if you guys don't know what inflation means, our economy of our dollar, it's weakening.
Well, no, there's going to be prices that are raised while the dollar is weakening to keep the economy surviving, right? So right off bat, if they don't do anything with inflation, let's say you have $1 million. Right now, each one of those dollars is worth, if I'm not mistaken,
What's it at?
Like
90,
80,
91, 89?
it's
Is
in
it
the
down?
80s now.
80s, yeah, $89.
So no,
89 cents, yeah.
right. So now your $1 million is really technically only worth 890,000.
Yeah.
Technically, right?
Mhm.
Then what happens with inflation if they turn around and they decide to raise it 0.5% from 2 to 2.5%?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, your 890,000 is even worth less.
Yeah.
So that $1 million that you have in your bank, you might want to hold on to that shit,
Yeah.
right?
Actually, you might want to withdraw it from your bank because that's the
Or
first
invest it
thing
somewhere.
that the banks are going to do.
Invest it into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Something
But
like that.
if you're letting it sit in your bank, the banks are trading it.
Find something to do with it.
Yeah.
Rather than, here, I'm going to go buy a car.
See, with me personally, I don't like having my money staying in a bank account at all. I hate it. I just don't find any value out of it. Doesn't do anything.
It'll put it to work for you.
Well, the only reason I say the bank is because I don't have a safe with $10 million in cash in that shit.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? So someone's got to hold my bread.
Yeah.
My wallet doesn't hold all that
just
right
buy,
now.
Just buy with crypto, you know?
So, I mean, if you can
there's
find
crypto machines, you know?
But that's also letting your money work for you.
Yeah.
That's giving it a job.
Yep. It's
Right?
putting it
Here's
to
your
work.
job. Go work for it. I respect you enough to make me money, and I'll save you. I'll save you, and you can go ahead and work for me.
Absolutely.
Respect that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a whole different view than just being like, oh, hey, you know what? It's Cyber Monday. I'm going to go blow my whole paycheck, which is it's crazy the way that this worked because Cyber Monday had the biggest deals, right? Or the biggest money income, right? But yet Black Friday had the better deals. So the scheduling of it was weird because everybody is supposed to get paid on your normal basis.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be this Friday.
Yeah.
So they made Black Friday last week extravagant for like a whole week. And only $5.5 billion, almost $6 billion was spent on Thanksgiving, but yet almost 9-10. That's like literally saying, oh, I have this great deal, but I'm going to wait till Cyber Monday to spend more money on something that would have been cheaper last week.
It's crazy.
That's fucking
People don't
stupid
do
if
their
you ask me.
Yeah.
But people didn't see
They
that.
don't do their research.
No.
This is the country we live in, you know? It's the small thing to the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. And the moral of the whole topic as to why I even wanted to bring this up is if anything that we've said touches a nerve within, because it's one of those things, it's like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if anything that we said strikes a nerve with you, don't take it personal. We don't mean anything personal.
Yeah.
Nope.
But
there's no emotion in this conversation.
But
No.
maybe,
So-
just
Just
maybe,
education.
Yeah.
you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, maybe I need to change my priorities a
Yeah.
little bit, right? And and start making changes before January 1st for New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
The time to change is right now because
Well, it should have been the beginning of
been.
March, like the
Of
beginning of
course.
this year. So
of course, but if people missed out on that or whatever, and we're going to hit round 2 here for whatever's going to happen,
yeah.
there's going to be great opportunities that are ahead. If you can focus your lens,
and not
to see
honestly
that.
to say this as to be fucked up. If we could have a repeat of this year again, yeah. Because for traders,
it's coming.
For traders.
Yeah, for traders, we'll
It's coming.
capitalize. For
I think
traders,
it's
we'll
definitely
capitalize
coming.
off it.
Yeah, it's coming.
But and then all I gotta say is that you missed out on a whole nother year. It's just like, man.
Oh yeah,
It's like, man, I don't know.
if
what
you
to
missed
say.
out on the
Like,
first one and the second one, you
That's
might as well
like,
just go ahead
damn.
and bury your 6 feet hole right now.
You know, no, just
Yep.
just meet up with Patrick and SpongeBob's gonna be there, including yourself, and just be on Little Rock.
Yeah.
Like,
Sleeping on your
so-
dreams.
So yeah, I just want people to be able to take accountability and responsibility for their irresponsibility.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. You know, for everything that's going on, this is all lessons learned.
Yep.
But these are life lessons and opportunities.
Oh yeah,
And-
someone just mentioned how I talked about this too, about food shortages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did
I'm
call that
telling-
a
yeah.
while back.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
you calling that a
gonna
while
be-
back.
I'm gonna say this now. It's gonna be food shortages,
Uh-huh.
right? It's gonna be communication.
Communication is going to be difficult.
So yeah, which is gonna affect us a little bit. But
Yeah, we might start needing to send smoke signals again.
yeah, you know,
Do
so
something.
that's gonna happen, you know, and then that's when we might have riots, you know, people, you know, revolting, and so, but that's if people do get united on the issues that that really concerns.
That's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Is if we can start communicating as a people, and looking at who's really causing all this shit, and working together, right? Putting all your bullshit aside and working together,
absolutely
next to each other.
Yeah,
I may have a different point of view on certain things than the next person, but guess what? If I see me and this next person, and we're in a position that's going to harm both of us, I'm for both of us, right? I'm not going to just be like, oh, I'm only me alone. No. It needs to be like that across the whole nation, though. And we don't have that at all. We have such division, and the division continues to get worse.
Yeah,
it's already affected with all of our politicians. Like,
I think the next year is going to be one of the toughest years we have. Yeah. I hate to be pessimistic. I would love it. 2021 was a great year, but I think anybody is dreaming if you think like 2020 is the year when we all come back and it's rainbows and butterflies. I'm like, no, dude, I don't think we've seen the worst of what's to come. I hate to say it. I'm just saying it so people prepare, learn a new skill, do something, get ready, because that's my personal opinion.
Well, look what happened. 5 million people traveled over the United States and went completely in disregard of the CDC's requirement or their suggestion of not traveling. And me, I'm like, fuck that. I would have traveled anyway, but I had nowhere to go. Right? Fuck all this shit. I'm good on it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But that living in fear just doesn't do it for me. And that's the continuous thing is trying to stay not afraid. Because when the masses are coming at you as if you're wrong for not wearing a mask, or you're wrong for quoting the CDC and what they hid, which was the fact that, what was it? We had 250,000 deaths, and really only 6% of those were accredited to COVID. 6%. But a lot of people are still sitting on this, it's 250,000 plus 300,000. Not that many fucking people died.
It's like, get the right data.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But you try and tell somebody this shit, that sit here stuck on this thing over and over again.
And they'll just fight with you.
Exactly. Right. Creating more division. I had somebody try to publicly shame me in an app because I told him I wouldn't wear a fucking mask for him.
That's why.
I said, you've got a second underlying issue.
Look at it, like, throughout the entire year, like, wearing masks, like...
It's a joke.
No, it's not also a joke, but, it's like a symbol of silence. So, and I know this person is just telling us about it. But it is a symbol of silence, like, like I go to a grocery store, I'm not wearing a mask. Like, if I'm going to voice out, I know my constitutional rights, like, but I'm going to say it not like arrogantly, like, like I'll say it politely, and
exactly
give you that's
that delivery and communication.
Yeah. It's how you deliver your choices. Yeah, you don't have to be hostile about it, you know?
Because, like, I'm not giving you access of control of my emotion, So, like, people, if they just paid attention, if everyone just became educated, then we wouldn't be in this situation. But you're giving the government, you're giving the politicians just like, all right, look, they're following it. And we didn't even, like, really have to force it like that. Just closing down, like, the things that people like to do. But, like, again, you still have a choice of going to it or not. So it really comes out like the power is really on us to make the change. Right. Not the government. The government is not going to do anything. Like,
no, they're going to instill whatever is working for them.
They're just pouring fear, and surprisingly, it worked.
Perfect example of what you're talking about in that sense. While I was in the mall, and I was literally the only person walking around. There were signs everywhere. It was, if you have medical reasons not to wear a mask, you don't necessarily have to wear one throughout the mall, right? I have one in my pocket because I don't want to be that problematic asshole. But I'm not going to wear one until it becomes a fucking problem. Yeah, right. And I'm not going to be that asshole that's arrogant about it or gets in an uproar, right? Yeah. So I walk into Godiva. Godiva chocolate. So shout out Godiva for this.
I love that chocolate. Sponsor us.
Yeah.
No.
Michael's like, no.
Well, the chocolate, not what they're ruling.
If their corporate offices want to reach out to me. I got you. I walk in.
Man.
And the two ladies, there's nobody in the store. And I was going to get one of these like white chocolate drinks, right? And so the girl
White
at the
chocolate
register,
hints.
the white chocolate.
That's perfect. No wonder you wanted that.
So the girl's like, hey, can you put your mask on? So I was like, there's nobody in here. I mean, is it 100% necessary?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yeah, we require it. So I reached into my pocket to grab it. It's like, all right, fine, I'm going to be in here for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She says, oh, can you turn around, walk out of the store and put it on and walk back in with it on?
Hell.
Dang.
I said, what
No,
difference is that
no.
going to make than what is right here, right now of me just putting it on?
Wow.
And I'd never experienced that before.
That's a first.
So I just turned around and said, you know what? Because that is so absolutely ridiculous for you to, like, that just sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in here already. Just let me put it on if that's the case. If you want to make my money, you want to make a sale, there's nobody in here. You might want the sale.
Yeah. Might want the business.
Yeah.
I walked right out and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I wasn't a problem,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, that was like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, right? It was kind of like, I'm in your store and now you're the dictator,
Yeah.
right? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up,
Yeah.
right?
That's just the world we're going to be living in
That's
for a
what we're
little
getting
while.
to, though.
Yeah, that happened
Unfortunately.
when I also went to Smoothie King, and they're like, "Yeah, you have your mask." I'm like, you know what? I'm not wasting any more time. So, you have a nice, convenient night. I'm just gonna go home. Like,
Yeah.
you know, take business elsewhere. Like,
Yeah.
and the fact is that for us to actually go through that, it's like you guys are hurting your own business by doing that.
Right.
Like, you know.
Yeah, they're
So-
losing out on sales. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
what people don't understand is these stores, they have a requirement. When they have the store open and the doors are open,
Mhm.
they have a requirement to not discriminate.
Yeah.
Any form of you have to wear a mask is not a law.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not a law, and I'm sorry, but your governors and your mayors, they cannot make laws. They have
Yeah.
lawmakers that are involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
So until it becomes an actual law and it goes through that standpoint, I don't give a fuck what mayor or governor is going to say what they're going to say.
Yeah.
You could tell me that I have to wear a mask and I'm going to tell you shove it up your ass.
Yeah. You
Right?
see the
Mhm.
politicians
Straight up.
not even wearing masks during the whole election.
Right.
Like,
The
Yeah.
whole thing is
can't believe they
wishy-washy. You either go
Yeah.
100% all in or you go 100% all
Mhm.
out.
More.
You
It's
can't go
definitely
wishy-washy
sketch.
and say, oh, that's contradiction. And that, to me, there's one thing that I don't stand, and that's contradiction. So if you're going to sit here and you're going to try and tell me this, that, and the other, then you're going to try and tell me that this is a law, this is a requirement. No, it's not. Understand that I know my laws. Like,
yep.
I know
Yep.
that I can walk into an establishment and I can buy, and you have to sell this to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to be an asshole, she would have sold me the drink and I would have thrown a fit.
Yeah.
Because, and I could have came out with this, everything I'm talking about right now. But I didn't. I was like, no, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You're just apparently
Yeah.
uneducated in this. So I'm just going to walk out and you're going to lose my business. Cool. And not just that, but I'm going to hop on my podcast and I'm going to talk
I'm gonna
about that
roast
as
you.
well.
Yeah.
So guess what? Good night, bro.
White chocolate coming in
Exactly.
hot.
So
man.
it's that platform. You never know who
Yeah.
you're going to work with and who you're going to talk to and who you're
Yeah.
going to come in contact with.
Yeah.
So if
Unfortunate.
I can bring this awareness out, that this is kind of what's going on, then hey, cool,
Yeah.
fine. You know, but it's just
Man.
it just gets me so bad.
Yeah.
Like, understand what the hell is going on,
Yeah.
and you'll see the light. You know, I see so many inadequacies with this whole situation, which this is what we're getting into in 2021. So
The
if
best
you think
way
that
to
this
do
is
is-
going to go away, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
I think probably what I did during Black Friday, like anyone that I knew that are really just doing well and like within small businesses,
Mhm.
I was just buying, like
Yeah.
just to show support. It's not like I
Yeah, just
needed it.
supporting those like local businesses.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which are great.
Yeah,
It's great
which,
to support
which is
them.
cool.
Mhm.
Like it wasn't like, oh, I need to go into a big corporation store and buy this. Like, if I know like this person actually has something like apparel brand, I'm like, hey, let me have your discount code. Like, save money, but also like supporting their businesses as well too. And I feel like throughout, like even when establishing Blue Cap, like, you have people that want to support you, but they'd rather support a bigger corporation or a bigger business because, your business is not like out there like that,
Mhm.
So if anything, this year it should teach us that we should be supporting the people that do have the small businesses, because that is what's going to keep our country.
Yeah, if they're surviving during this time, you gotta give them some support, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Like,
it's
it's
super
up to
tough.
us.
Yeah. So
That's what I'm saying.
people that don't have a business would never know the heartaches of running a small business. It's not easy. Like, you're going to have trials and tribulations and errors and, you know, plans that didn't fall through. You know, you might have to take out a business loan. You know, you fail to pay, you know, your loan back. Like, you know, it stresses you out. You're not converting sales. Like, there's so many missing pieces and puzzles that goes through running a business that people are not even aware about or even acknowledgeable about it. So it's like, you know, you see your friend pushing, grinding, this and that, and you have never bought anything.
Right.
You know, even if it's something that you don't even need, it's just like, hey, look, I appreciate your hard work. You know what? I'm going to buy an item, you know?
Yeah.
Agreed.
And,
Agreed. Think next time about you buy something. You know, think who can you support?
Yeah.
We have to right now. You just have to.
I agree 100%. But see, that's that person making their money work for them and you supporting them. It's all full circle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to talk about this. Like I said, again, maybe whoever it needs to reach, whoever this is, you know, touching, however it is, whether I've offended somebody by the topic or by the question, by even saying, are traders out there? A lot of traders out there.
No, people shouldn't feel offended.
No.
Like, it's time to remove emotion. Like, we have had so much emotion throughout hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
of people
years.
Getting way
I don't
too
think.
easily
I don't think. In the education standpoint, if I didn't give it to somebody real raw like that, I don't think I would be doing my job. Yeah. Right. My job is to say, here's the fucking problem. What do we need to do to fix it?
There should always be a solution at all times.
Let's work on a solution. I'm not calling anybody out specifically. I'm not saying any names because there are none. This is just for whoever wants to listen to it. Yep. If it makes sense, great.
It makes sense.
Let it help you.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. So we talked about just our economy, the mental aspects, finances,
trading in a new market.
Yeah, trading in new market conditions. And we're going to be keeping in tap for every episode, just, you know, because this is just going to be continuously going, you know, this is not going anywhere. You know, I know some states are having curfews and stuff like that. So till Christmas, you know, try to lock everyone down. But, like, you know, this is, you know, you have more time to be acknowledgeable, to do research, find something that's passive income, try it. Like, you have no loss of going about trying something new. That could be a skill set. That could be something that could open your eyes eventually down the road. But, like, this is the time to truly reflect on your circumstances and don't be comfortable of allowing the government to take care of you.
Yeah, now's a good time to learn a new skill, get out there, like we're talking about, whether it's trading or not, do something. And if you're going to get into being a trader, be aware that there are going to be some challenges now. You know, do your due diligence.
Forecasting for what we see in 2021 and possibly even 2022, this really actually becomes more true than ever is the fact that you have nothing to lose right now.
Yeah.
Because if it's only going to get worse down the road, you might as well go ahead and try.
Might as well do something now. That's what I did. Like, I mean, I'm a perfect example. I hate to say it all the time, but it's a perfect example.
Yeah.
You could do what I did in 2020 and 2021.
And as long as you put the effort into it, and I say this on every call, whatever you get out of this, which is literally everything in life, whatever you put into it, you're going to get out of it. If you don't put any effort into anything, nothing's going to happen for you. If you don't put any effort into life, nothing is going to happen for you.
Facts.
Sure.
Make your
Major
life.
Facts.
What we should be happening is by the time of the end of this pandemic, if that is within the next 2 years, let's just say within the next 2 years, right? Because we have these fucking vaccines and shit that everybody's betting on. So those are coming out, everything, this, that, and the other, right? So we should be getting better, right? Well, there's got to be a response to that. You might want to prepare for everything ahead of time. We should have, in the next 2 years, more entrepreneurs than anything.
Yeah, we should have many new businesses emerging.
Yeah,
absolutely. Typically, you do see that when you see
government is giving away money as they are, this is a time to actually establish. I've seen a good amount of small businesses getting established now, like people that, opening gyms, small gyms, like small little restaurants. So like, it's a great time to capitalize on the momentum of where it's carrying. So, do your research, find something that you're truly passionate about that you want to make into reality and make it happen.
The unfortunate side is, although we should have the easiest time.
Yeah, but I highly suggest that you should have an online business over anything. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Face-to-face type business like is not going to be it. It has to be
you gotta
something
have,
online.
Yeah, it's online. That could be passive. That could, be a service to other services in need. So
Blue Cap,
there's a lot of ways to capitalize on what you want to go about with your life. So
yeah, and this right now though, for any entrepreneur or anybody that's thinking about entrepreneurship, it's an uphill battle right now.
Yeah.
So just keep going. That's all I can suggest. Keep going, because the top will be reached, and then it'll all be downhill, and then it's going to be like, this is what all my hard work put off for, right? And the biggest reason as to why this is such an uphill battle right now is because as soon as you try to open up a small business, right now the government is trying to get you to shut down. They don't want small businesses to succeed.
Yeah, that's why you got to go online.
That's going to be one loophole around to where it's like, well, what can the government do about online? Nothing.
That's one of the few places that they can't really touch you.
Yep. There are cons to online businesses, more cons than to online businesses that are a little bit different in these times than it would be like a brick and mortar store. But you do have that alleviation of the pain of the government being like, oh, well, we can't let people in. What are you talking about?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So please, everybody, think about what you want to do. This is the time to either act on what you've thought about, or if you haven't thought about it, you better
start thinking about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that puts a wrap to episode 47. Hope you guys like the valued information that we provide for you guys tonight. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. We do look at the comments on you guys' feedback.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us what you guys want us to talk about too. Yeah. Give us some ideas.
Yeah, give us ideas for our next upcoming episodes. So it should be fun. We're going to keep it spicy. We're going to take the emotion out. If the shoe fits, the shoe fits. But this is the time to really keep your eyes open and more alertive to what's going on in our country, because this is not coming to an end, as you guys could see. So if you guys have any last words that you guys want to input, but make sure you guys sign up to Blue Capital Academy.
Sign up to Blue Cap. My last words were, it's December. Think about what you want to do next year. I have done this for the last 4 or 5 years of my life. I have been in the real estate world, and I'm doing this year as a trader. I am working, like I said, 3 times as hard this month, so I don't not start in the hole in January. And you will blow past your competition. So my last words are, really think about how you want to have your 2021 start. If you want to have a solid 2021 despite whatever gets thrown at us, coronavirus, the presidency, whatever happens, we know things are going to get weird. Take control. It's simple. Do 3 times the amount of work you did January to November. Whatever field you're in, do it in December, and I promise you, your January, you'll think you'll be like, okay, cool. I got momentum already. Most people, they write down, not to be too long-winded, but they write down these goals, these New Year's resolutions, and then they start in January, and they're 2 weeks in, they're back to them same selves. Right. You got to pre-program your mind. Yeah. You have to start differently, and that's my last piece of advice.
Yep.
Yeah, and mine is literally just to be real with yourselves. You could sit here and listen to this podcast and think, oh, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me, but you could also show those sides of everything that we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
If you're not going to be real with anybody, be real with yourself, and then that's going to exude the changes and becoming overall what I would be considered as a better person overall, more aware, more alert, more attentive, right? And not just that, but more prepared.
More prepared,
right? So that's the biggest thing is for preparation. I'm not one that I like to be, it's funny because I always work well under great pressure, but I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'd rather be more prepared and be ready than to just be at the last second like, oh, I'm going to wing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's up to you, however you take it. But please just take heed to what's being talked about because we're all in these same positions together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? We're all going to go through it together. Nobody's alone in this.
Yeah, very well said.
All right. And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.